This week was the 5th yahrzeit of my mother. The yahrzeit is the day of death that is commemorated, and in the Jewish religion we commemorate the day of death more than the birthday, because at the day of death we look back and we see what the person really accomplished. And my mother, in her almost 98 years, accomplished so much. And it is a custom to say things over in her memory, and I thought I would share one small vignette, piece of wisdom that really has stuck with me, and it happened at the very end of her life. In her last year of her life, she was at a home near my home, and I used to visit every day, sometimes twice a day, and it happened on one day in the visit that I went to see her. And I was sitting on her bed, and she had been napping. When she woke up, I was sitting there, and she apologized for having fallen asleep. And as we spoke, I made a mistake. I started to yawn while we were speaking, not very polite. And she looked at me and she said, in her kindly way, "You don't get too much sleep, do you?" So I said, "No, I guess not. I'm kind of busy." And she said, "Let me ask you a question." I remember she's 97 years old when she's telling this to me. She says to me, "When you go to bed, do you fall asleep immediately?" I thought it was an interesting question. And then I thought, she might feel a little bad if I said that I did, because she probably has trouble sleeping. But I had to tell her the truth. I know I couldn't get away with that. And I said, "Yeah, I'm pretty tired. I kind of am asleep before my head hits the pillow." And then she looked at me with those piercing eyes and simply said, "I feel so bad for you. If you fall asleep as soon as you hit the pillow, when do you have time to think?" I was struck. When do you have time to think? This is something that she taught me her whole life. You need to make time to think. And that's something that people just don't do enough of. Hardly do at all. We're so busy with everything that we do. We think that we're accomplishing so much. But how much time do we really take out to think about what our purpose is, what we should be doing, what our life's really all about? My question to you today is why? Why is it that we don't think? Are we afraid to think? Is there something that's blocking us from the capacity and seeing the necessity of really thinking? If you have some ideas of what we can do and why it is that we have so much trouble really thinking today, I'd love to hear about it. May her memory be blessed. Something to think about.